Hello and welcome to the first episode of the SWS Naatu series. For those who are part of the 2023 batch, they would know what exactly this series did for the 2023 board examination students, class 9, class 10, class 11, and class 12 students. So on popular demand, the Naatu series is back once again to have fun, to have a lot of dance and song, a lot of masti essentially as we prepare for our 2024 board examinations. Okay, so what really is the plan? The plan is to prepare you with questions which are in accordance with the latest style of the ICSE and ISC papers. There will be some questions which will be fairly easy. There will be some which will be tough. I will try to explain as much as I can. And this is for students who may be part of our courses on the SWS app, who may not be part of the courses on the SWS app. Some of you may be part of only the success test papers. See, what we do essentially is to ensure that we provide you with quality material, right? These are questions which are prepared by me personally, by us subject experts. These are not taken as copy paste from different sources. Now, what I'm also going to do as part of this Naatu series is to ensure that those of you who are part or not part of the courses get an overview of what exactly and where exactly are you placed in the run up to the board examinations and even the pre-board examinations, which is why we are starting now, right when the first month, the first week of 2024 has started, right? So are you excited? I am excited, and I'm going to call it the same as Naatu series. I'm not changing the name because most students know this as the SWS Naatu series, and Naatu went on to win the Oscar. So we should also win the Oscars, the board exam Oscars, when the results come out in the month of May 2024. So today's episode is going to be a little different from the rest of the episodes because I realize that many of you do not take the writing part of your examination very seriously. And when I say writing part, I'm essentially referring to the first paper, the English language paper. Most of us think that, अरे letter ही तो है, essay तो है, जाके लिख लेंगे. That's the biggest mistake that you can do. And I will give you my own example, right? I have been in the business of writing for the last 3 decades plus, more than 30 years. Even now, I can tell you, like, for example, October, November, December, May, I was doing a lot of political column writing in the run up to the elections. I was writing one column every day, sometimes even 2 columns. And trust me, if I have the basic idea in the mind, it would not take me more than an hour to write the column, right? And another half an hour to polish it up, right? I have not written anything for the last 2 weeks. Trust me, if I sit down to write today, political column, it will take me more than an hour, 1.5 hours, maybe even 2 hours, because the mind is not oiled. It's just like a cycle. All of you must be riding a bicycle. Now, when you ride a bicycle, unless you have lubricated the wheel, right? Lubricated the gears, it will kind of create a cut kind of sound. You will need to put more force in order to ride the bicycle, right? As compared to a situation where it is well lubricated, it will move smoothly. The same goes for the mind. You need to ensure that your mind is in a position where it is lubricated, where it is coming up with ideas and words and expressions quickly. आपको एग्जाम में बैठ के सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा, अरे उसका वर्ड का सिनोनिम क्या होगा. No, all these things will come directly. So please, in your own interest, I'm requesting you, I'm advising you, please practice writing. The other important part is to be exposed to quality writing. आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि कैसा ऐसे, किस तरह के ऐसे को 20 में से 19 मार्क मिल सकते हैं in ICSE or in ISC? That understanding you need to have. It's not enough for you to read anything which comes in any books. No, please read quality material. So what I'm going to do is to show you one of my own essays, one of my best essays. It's an argumentative essay. I will do another video for narrative essay because many of you also attempt a narrative essay. And in this, when you see the essay, you will get an idea about what exactly you need to do and what you should not do. How do you structure your arguments in a cohesive and a persuasive manner that the examiner feels कि क्या बढ़िया points लिखा है, expression neat है, कोई grammatical mistake नहीं है, कोई spelling mistake नहीं है, intro अच्छा है, conclusion अच्छा है, it's not a repeat. Those are all the things. I can tell you in essay students get as less as 3 out of 20 also. So don't think the examiners are going to be in a very generous and charitable mood that they will give you 15 out of 20 irrespective of what the quality of the essay is. No, it will not happen, unfortunately. People score in the low single digits also. So please ensure that you do practice writing over the next month, month and a half, so that your first paper goes off well. And for those who need help, and this is something which I feel very strongly because there's a lot of effort that has gone into the book. I strongly recommend that you purchase this book. If you order it today, it will take about 6 to 7 working days for it to be delivered, depending on where your location in the country is. But this is a book which contains 75 essays, 25 letters, and this is not just for class 9 and 10. Of course, since it's letters, I've put it for 9 and 10. Even class 11 and 12 students who have ordered the book have written to me saying that they are really finding this book very useful because it gives you a sense of what does it take for you to score a high 18 or a 19 out of 20, right? So what I'm going to do, so please order this book. You can go either to the app, click on store, you will find this book title, or you can go to studywithsudhir.com and order this book. I strongly recommend this book. In fact, we are going into the second print because the first print is running out. So second print of the first edition, we are going into very soon. So you need to order your copy pretty fast so that it comes well in time for before your examination. Okay, so that's as far as this book is concerned. We have not increased the price. It's still available at the pre-order price of 350 rupees, and it's really worth every rupee. Now, what I'm going to do is to show you one of my essays. Please go through it very carefully कि किस तरह से structure किया है और इससे आपको I'm very sure, very confident बहुत फायदा होगा. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see this on the screen. Let's move ahead. This is for English language paper for ICSE class 9 and 10, but I would strongly urge students of 11th and 12th ISC also to see this video. This part of the Naatu series, episode number 1, how to write the perfect argumentative essay or composition. This is the topic. People in the cities, and it's there in this book also. People in the cities should be, so that you also get an idea about the kind of content we have put in the book, should be encouraged to cycle to work and to school. So see the two different elements. Always read the question very carefully. So the question says that people in the cities, remember, we are not talking about the villages. Students make these kind of mistakes because they do not, in their excitement or anxiety, don't read the question very carefully. So people in the cities should be encouraged to cycle to work or also go to school. So you have to include both, to the workplace and to school. So we are talking about students. We are also talking about working professionals. Express your views either for or against. Please, or for लिखा ही नहीं मैंने यहाँ पे you obviously know that. Either for or against this statement. So please remember that you need to take a stand. This side or that side. आप दोनों के points नहीं लिख सकते हैं. लिखेंगे तो marks कटेंगे. So please don't ever do that. Even if your teacher in school says that, please listen to me. You have to give only this side or that side. You cannot give both sides. Now, let's get started. The first essay, this essay I've written for both. In all the others, I've written one side of the argument because the idea is to tell you how to structure it. So how do you do the for thing? Mark Rutte, who is now the acting prime minister after the elections of 2023 of the Netherlands, travels to work. Now you see how I have introduced. Now you may think, "Arey, हमको examples कैसे आएगा?" No problem. What I would always, and that's what I prepare my students for, we prepare for a whole lot of essays, right? Of all the different kinds. Close to about more than 100, in fact. So and our the last 2-3 years का experience has been that उसी में से आए हैं. नहीं भी आए, but because you practice so much, you will have an idea about something similar that you can fit in. Even if you don't know an example, no problem. You will still be, because your mind will be so used to writing essays, you will still be able to come up with an interesting way. But the way I prefer to prepare is to give an anecdote, give an example so that you make your essay look interesting. It's the intro is the hook, जिससे आप examiner को बोलते हैं कि देखो मैंने कितना अच्छा लिखा है, आके देखो. So Mark Rutte, the acting prime minister of the Netherlands, travels to work on his bicycle. So immediately you have connected to the fact which has been asked in the question, travels to work on the bicycle. So you're giving an example of someone, and that also the prime minister of a country, who actually travels to work on his bicycle. By doing so, he conveys to his countrymen and women that the bicycle is the vehicle if we are to save the planet. That this is a vehicle which will help save Mother Earth. This is why, and always towards the end, the second half of your first paragraph, always, please remember this, always you need to state your position using the same words as in the question. People in the city should be encouraged to emulate Mark Rutte and cycle to work and to school, right? So I have used the same words as in the question, given an example, and stated my position in an extremely lucid manner. This is how you impress. So immediately the examiner will think, बच्चे ने मेहनत की है, बच्चे को कुछ मालूम है, बच्चे को appropriate example मालूम है. And look at the way, no, I have got the examiner interested in my essay. Half your battle is won. Because please remember, examiners check lots of essays, bore हो जाते हैं. उसमें अगर आपका essay का intro ऐसा हो कि it can immediately interest the examiner, half your battle is won. Let's now move. Now you see how I structure. Uske baad you need to give 4 to 5 points of about 50 words each, right? 350 words ka hi banana hai in the case of ICSE class 9 and 10, and 400 to 450 words in the case of ISC class 11 and 12. But the basic structure will remain the same. Now you see how I have written. The first point, many cities in India, like Delhi, are gasping for breath. You know that, the smog and the pollution, and encouraging students and office goers to junk the fuel inefficient school bus, motorbike, and the car for the eco-friendly bicycle will be a step in the right direction. Now, what do you make out of from this particular line that I have written? One, the first point that I'm making is that of pollution, right? Look at the choice of words. Fuel inefficient. So I'm immediately saying the school bus, the car, and the motorbike because of fuel inefficiency or the fact that they are polluting. They are not good in comparison with the eco-friendly bicycle. And since I'm talking about travel, I have used an idiom, step in the right direction. You understand? So this is how you make your compositions more smart. You understand? This is how you make your compositions smarter. Junk, junk means that you discard. You could have used the word discard also. If India is to save, actually, it will not be its. Like I always, I'm basically an editor, so I keep editing. So it should be, since we talk about the country as Mother India, so it would be her here. Okay. If India is to save her fragile environment and reduce carbon footprint, she needs to nudge her generation next to put its foot on the pedal. Now here again, you see, I've used a smart phrase out here. Okay. So this is how, so the first point you have made is about pollution. Remember, in argumentative, what are you doing? It's like peeling the layers of the onion, right? आप एक-एक argument present कर रहे हैं before the examiner to say that, see, This argument is good. Now I make the next argument. Then I make the next argument. After that, the fourth argument. That's how you go ahead. So the first argument is about pollution. It's not mixing up. Now you will see second paragraph will not have anything to do about pollution. Now you see the second paragraph. For a large part of our population, cycling would help fight the problem of obesity effectively. So now we are talking about health and fitness. Instead of embracing an exercise cycle, in a gym, cycling to work or the school can be a great alternative to burn calories. You can be more fit by exercising on the move. Now you see yet third phrase, exercising on the move. So constantly I have used phrases which kind of indicate that sense of movement. That's right. Indians can improve fitness levels and guard against cardiovascular diseases and even old age ailments like arthritis. Cycling is also beneficial for mental health, and psychologists rate it as an efficient way to de-stress. That when you cycle, you feel the wind on your face, you feel better, you feel more de-stressed. This is what psychologists say. So you see, I've brought in physical health, mental health, stress-free life, fitness, everything into paragraph 2. Second point, which is going to convince the examiner that yes, what he is saying, the student is saying is correct. Third point, now we are talking about how it is cost effective. Cycling as a cost effective means of transport. Okay. The price of petrol has crossed the century mark. It's more than 100, 109 rupees, etc. in India. From the point of view of personal savings, you can actually save a lot of money if you travel on a bicycle instead of going on a bike or a car or even by bus. The humble bicycle, it's not a flashy means of transport. It's a humble bicycle is the best way to guard against a hole in the pocket. Now I've used a stylized way of saying to save money. Here I've already used the word saving, so I don't want to repeat it. So since I know this idiom, so I am using this idiom in order to, again, as I said, impress the examiner. Fourth point, traffic congestion. Now you're talking about traffic. Traffic congestion that often leads to road rage is a huge problem in our cities. लोग झगड़ा करते हैं ट्रैफिक के वजह से, traffic jam, etc. The cyclist can deal, he can navigate more easily with traffic jams by successfully navigating his way through lanes and by lanes. Instead of wasting time, a cyclist will in fact be able to reach his destination faster. Your cars will keep getting stuck in traffic jams. The cyclist can navigate his way faster. Fourth point. Great. You see, each one of them are clearly distinct points. Fifth point, no longer is a bicycle considered a poor man's vehicle. Now, some people will think, "Arey yaar, cycle pe jayenge, log samjhenge main gareeb hu." On the contrary, cycling to work is considered more trendy and reinforces the image of being a responsible world citizen. So, the fifth point is about being responsible and also trendy. Hence, it is time to encourage the Indians to cycle their way to good health and a better planet. This is also the concluding paragraph. So you have had 4 points, and with this point, you are which means you're not repeating your points. Which means you're not repeating your points. You are concluding in a way that this is essential for both good health and a better planet. Right now, it is also, which you will see in the next one. Now, in this, I have deliberately not included because each one of them are distinct points. But I always say 2 words that you should never use in an essay or in a letter, which is also. Please don't use because to start a sentence. I mean, you should never use these 2 words to start a sentence. How do you connect in that case one paragraph to the other? You can write moreover, you can write furthermore, in order to kind of, so to aisa lage ki, you're continuing with the arguments. You can write in addition to, Okay, these are all connectors which will help you move from one paragraph to another if you do not want your points to look very disjointed. Okay, let's now move to the against point of view and see which one works better for you. Now, in this, I have not used any example. That's why I said it's not mandatory. If you don't know an example, don't kind of get nervous. It's okay. Riding a bicycle to work or to school is a great thought, but only on paper. You know, थ्योरी में फैंटास्टिक लगता है लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल में बाबू इसमें दम नहीं है. In practical terms, it is a romance, because bicycling, gives you a sense of romance. यानी कि मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि प्यार करो, but it's a romance with the elements. It makes you feel better. It's a romance that is bound to have a terrible ending. So I am completely against the idea that you should bicycle to work. So you can say, so I am of the view that traveling by cycle to work or to school is a bad idea. You need to write that line, in my view, and just take the same sentence from the question paper. In a country like, now the first point that I'm making out here, in a country like, and this is about the weather element. This is the other point. In a country like India with a tropical climate where it gets very hot in the summers, cycling means reaching your destination in sweat laden clothes. यानी कि आप पसीना पसीना हो जाएंगे by the time you reach your workplace or your school. The traffic pollution is also certain to add a layer of soot. यानी कि your white shirt may get black over your clothes. That is bound to make you feel miserable, untidy, and unkempt. You will not look like a clean person for the rest of the day, and you will feel miserable through the day. If you are a student, because the question says student, your teachers are not likely to approve of how you are looking, of your appearance, right? Your skin may be dark because of this pollution. Your shirt may be dirty. Your teachers may not approve of this kind of appearance. Second point, this is about safety. Most bicycles are not fitted with a powerful headlight and tail end lights, and that makes them unsafe vehicles on Indian roads after it is dark, after dusk. Most Indian cities do not have traffic discipline because most Indian towns and cities, you will not find a separate lane for cyclists. सब जगह बाइक, कार, ट्रक, बस सब जगह आ जाते हैं. साइकिल वाला कहां चलाएगा? तो that means you will be unsafe on the road in India. There is no separate bay for cyclists. That makes a cyclist vulnerable to road accidents. Stepping into the unruly traffic is not a risk worth taking. So the second point is about safety. Convincing point. Third point, theft. That whether it is safe from theft. Thieves know that trendy bicycles, because आजकल जो trendy bicycles आते हैं, they are very, very costly. So, and stealing a bicycle will always be easier than stealing a bike or a car, right? So it's easier compared to breaking into a car. Losing your bike in a theft is a real possibility. Unless of course, your school has a very safe parking space. The fourth point, carrying, this is specific to school students, school bags. Okay. How will you carry your heavy school bags? Okay. You'll need to become a Bahubali for that, right? Students often have to carry heavy school bags and that does not make bicycle a convenient travel option. Cyclists have to travel light and carrying luggage is not feasible. Students and workers also will need to start early to reach on time to avoid getting penalized, right? So that is another problem area. Fifth point, एक और point है about bonding. This is an interesting point. Okay, so the examiner will think that this student has come up with some interesting points. Riding a bicycle to school will make you lose out on important bonding. If you travel in a school bus, you will speak to 5-6 of your friends. There is bonding and bonhomie that takes place. Cycle पे आप अकेले रहते हैं normally, right? अगर आप किसी से बात करते हैं, तो that will make it unsafe for you while you're riding on the bicycle. Similarly, office goers can keep, if they're traveling in a bus or in their car, they can keep reading upon some material before they reach the workplace. आप cycle पे वो नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that is point number 5. And therefore, I end with, therefore, cycling to work or to school is a utopian idea whose time has not yet come in Indian cities. Utopian as in something which is perfect, which the time has not come for it in Indian cities. That's how I have ended this essay. So please let me know, what did you think? Because the points have to be strong, they have to be persuasive, and they have to be written in such a manner that it makes the examiner feel impressed. तब आपके 18 या 19 आउट ऑफ 20 मिल सकते हैं. 20 out of 20 generally नहीं मिलते हैं. Okay, so I want you to focus on writing, practicing writing. Please, I would still suggest invest in this book for quality essays and letters, and practice writing. Even if you don't write the entire thing, write point form so that aapka preparation, especially for students who are planning to attempt the argumentative essay. I can tell you one last thing. If you think that you will decide on what essay you are going to attempt in the examination hall, you are making a blunder. In the Ashwin course and the Virat course, we decide right at the beginning of the year, this is going to be my style, and then we practice 20, 25, 30 essays only on that style. ओके, हो सकता है बीच में मैं चेंज करूं कि कोई डिस्क्रिप्टिव चूज करता है, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि वो से होगा, आई विल मेक हिम और हर चेंज टू नैरेटिव और आर्गुमेंटेटिव और टू पिक्चर कॉम्पोजिशन. बट a lot of thought goes into it. There will be some students who will be good at narrative, not good at argumentative. There will be some who will be good in argumentative, but not good in narrative. So it depends on your mental makeup. You may be a good storyteller, but not a great debater. So it depends on what you are good at, and that's how you should make the choice. I hope this first episode of the Naatu series 2024 has been of use to you. We will be doing a lot more stuff from all other subjects. So I do hope to have your support, and I do hope this will be a fruitful journey just like it was for the batch of 2023. Tata, bye-bye.